Mike Pence dropped out of the race. Who's going to be the next one? We're going to try to answer that today. Also, you know that we've got a new Speaker of the House. We're going to get a very important perspective on that. And also want to talk about what happens if Donald Trump is not on the ballots, as many states are trying to keep him off the ballots in this upcoming election. Before we introduce our guest today, I just want to remind you, go over to ourwatch.com, subscribe there, become a watchman. We're always trying to make sure you get the truth into your life. And you know that as we do that, many of the social media outlets do not like what we have to say. They're always trying to shut us down. The best way that you know you can always get good, true information is going to ourwatch.com, subscribing there, be one of our watchmen, and you will always have the information you're looking for. I also want to remind you, if you like this video, please share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors. They need the truth into their life as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I want to introduce our guest today. Our guest today is Martha Fain. She is the president of Vote America First. Martha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
So Vote America First, tell us about that, if you would.
So it's a nationwide organization that gets behind candidates and policy that support an America First platform. So we have representation in every state across our beloved nation, and our mission is every day to make sure that we are advancing America First policy and candidates, or that we are doing everything we can to make sure that any policy that's introduced that doesn't support our great Americans that work so hard every day to live the American dream never sees the light of day.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work that you do. Speaking of hard work, you are actively working on fundraisers and rallies and stuff like that for our President Trump. Tell us about some of the events you've got coming up that you're working on for him.
Well, you know, we are living in such an extraordinary time in American history, as I think you'll agree, not only in the United States, but across the world. I don't think any of us ever dreamed or imagined that we would wake up and see just the persecution of hardworking conservatives in our country that just want to live the American dream and have the ability to live our constitutional rights without the meddling of government. And what we're seeing happening to President Trump could happen to any one of us in terms of having our First Amendment rights shut down. So right now we are working really hard to make sure that Americans are aware that we support President Trump, we support the America First platform, and really to help get out the vote every possible way we can by making sure that everyday Americans that want to live the American dream know how important it is now more than ever that they get out and vote.
Yeah, more than ever. And, you know, you say that we want the president to know that we're behind him. It's funny, every time they attack him, his scores go up. I mean, yeah. So I think it's kind of backfiring on them. A lot of things I want to talk to you about.
Fundraising. Yeah, and fundraising, by the way. It's every time they throw an indictment at him, every time they try and silence President Trump, not only do the poll numbers reflect that the American people are not going to stand for it, but the fundraising is extraordinary. And President Trump just said recently that his legal bills are over $100 million, or he anticipates that they'll be over $100 million. And, you know, the American people, don't underestimate the American people. The American voters are smart. They know that under the Trump presidency, we had a thriving economy. Unemployment was at an all-time low. The cost of gas and everyday goods, we've seen them skyrocket under the Biden administration. And let's face it, most Americans vote with their pocketbooks, whether you're an independent, undecided, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian. At the end of the day, Americans care about kitchen table issues. Do I have enough money to feed my family, put gas in my car, provide a good education for my children, have excellent medical care? And Americans, when they go to the polls and vote, they will remember that under the Trump presidency, under the Trump White House, we had a thriving country. We had secure borders. We were respected around the world.
Right. You know, you say that, first of all, I couldn't agree with you more. You say that, you know, you look at the fundraising numbers, they go up every time this thing happens. And I have a biblical answer for that. You look at Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, there's a section there that says, "Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and say all manner of wickedness against you falsely for his name's sake. And you look at what President Trump did for the American people. He stood for the Judeo-Christian values that our nation was founded upon, that made this nation so great. He did things that were going to bless Israel. He did things that were going to be right as far as what we look at our biblical values. It was going to be right for the biblical values, for family, for faith, for freedom, all of these things that matter so much to us. And as he did that, of course, the left goes against him on that. But every time they go against him, they say these things, they revile him, persecute him, say all manner of wickedness against him falsely. Every time he's going to get blessed. That's what happens when people do what God's called them to do. And he's been doing so many great things. We're so grateful for him. We saw just recently, we've got a new Speaker of the House, and we saw the president tweet out about him. When I say the president, I'm talking about obviously Donald Trump. We saw him tweet out, MAGA Johnson. What are your thoughts about our new Speaker of the House?
MAGA Mike Johnson, he surprised the world, really.
Right.
The entire world is watching what's happening in the United States right now. And most Americans, frankly, had never heard of what we're calling MAGA Mike, if you will, Johnson. He's a patriot. He's an attorney. He loves America. And he is going to make sure that he advances an America First platform. We could not be more thrilled by the decision. Of course, President Donald J. Trump supports him. You can probably see over my shoulder, that's from the inauguration from 2016. And this is a welcome Speaker of the House, and we're very much looking forward to his leadership and to the days ahead. Under President Trump, he's the first president of 5 consecutive presidents on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, 5 consecutive presidents that promised to move the embassy to Jerusalem, declare sovereignty over the Golan Heights. He did it all. And I truly believe that if President Trump was in the White House, we would not have seen the invasion that's happening. We wouldn't have the war that's unfolding before our eyes that the entire world is witnessing now. We had strength. There's power and strength and in national security, and President Trump delivered all of that. I really believe that the leadership under Johnson will prove to continue to secure our national security and really continue to show strength across the globe. So I'm very excited about his leadership.
I am too. I know my audience is as well. We look at what's going on right now in the race. Of course, Donald Trump is moving forward and doing well, and we see the numbers going up all the time for him. Mike Pence just dropped out, and we're anticipating more are going to drop out as time goes by. Who do you think might be next?
Listen, Mike Pence, I'm surprised he hung in there as long as he did. And his departure was not a surprise to anybody. As you know, Dr. Ben Carson has just endorsed President Trump. I think you're going to find in the coming forward, and I think you're going to see several that I can tell you for a fact will stay in. I think Vivek is going to stay in for the long haul. He and President Trump speak very highly of each other, as you know. I don't believe he is is a viable candidate for president. I think that he has so much to offer. He's very young, which is not necessarily a deterrent, but he's going to stay in. I see him staying in the race. In terms of who should be the next to fall out of the race, Ron DeSantis has lost significant favor with the base. He's done a great job as governor of Florida. But he is no longer a viable candidate for president. Nikki Haley, while she has done very well in so many of the polls, I see her as dropping out as well. And as far as the others, they should all drop out and get behind President Trump. He absolutely will be our nominee, and we're very much looking forward to another Trump White House and Trump presidency to bring our nation to where it should be, and so that he can finish the job he started when he was in the White House.
Yeah, there is no doubt he's going to be the nominee. I think everybody already knows that. And you look at what's happening across the nation, and there are many states that are trying to keep him off of the ballots. And what do you think is going to happen if some of those states are successful?
Well, you're going to have over 80 million people, over 80 million Americans, maybe 100 million Americans who won't stand for it. I mean, we the people are stronger, and we're always underestimated. The American voter is always underestimated, but the American people won't stand for it. I mean, I can see any number of scenarios from writing in the president's name to it being disputed and challenged through the court system. So I'm not concerned about that. Nothing will keep President Trump from being our primary candidate. And the American people are ready for President Trump to be back in the White House. I'm not concerned by that at all.
Yeah, I think we've been ready since before Biden even took the place that he's in right now. Like I said, a lot going on. You've got a lot of great information. How can people follow you? How can people get information from you and all the things that you've got going on?
Absolutely. So just Martha@marthafain.com is my email. I can also give you a phone number. It's 571-839-1143. Every email is answered. Every call is responded to. We need everybody doing everything they can in every state across our nation to make sure that President Trump is our president. We need him now more than ever. And I just want to thank you and say God bless you and everything you do each and every day. It's been an honor to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. Martha Fain, president of Vote America First. Thank you so much for being with us. And I want to thank you all for joining us today. Again, if you like this video, please share this out with your friends, your family, your neighbors. Go over to ourwatch.com, subscribe, and become one of our watchmen to make sure that you always get good, true information into your life. So God bless you. We'll see you next time right here on Our Watch with Tim Thompson.